Hi, I'm teacher Sarah. This is just an easier way to quickly answer some questions. So, new thing today, video answer. So the question is, new to this group, sorry if it sounds dumb, but what is Lesson Bank and how do you use it? So the Lesson Bank is something that I made when I started last year. There wasn't anything for teachers other than the materials section on lesson preps. There are more now, but what I wanted to do was, I made a digital lesson prep system so that I didn't have to keep remaking lessons and prepping lessons if I'd already done it once. And then it seemed crazy that we have thousands of teachers, but nothing that we're collaborating on together. So I made the collaborative lesson bank. So it's just a Google Doc that has a template. Well, the lesson bank has an introduction, an explanation of what it is, and then it also has, excuse me, I just got done teaching. It also has, so it has the introduction as a template, and then it has for each type of lesson, it has a tab at the bottom for trials and MCs and C1s and C3s, but though there's no C3s, and unit assessments. And so the idea is that everyone collaborates on the Google Doc for the lessons, and then you make a copy of the template for your own personal schedule. Then you copy your schedule from VIPKID into your schedule template, and then you take the lessons, you copy and paste the lessons from the lesson bank into your schedule. And then while you're teaching, you just pull up your schedule, and then you have a full, at a glance that you can look quickly at, prepped lesson along with your lesson. And then your next class, it'll be there. So then in the beginning, when you're nervous, you can look through every slide and make sure you know everything and you have all your props or whatever you need to do to feel comfortable. But then eventually you can just copy and paste those into your schedule, and then you'll have this at a glance that maybe the night before you can look at real quick. I don't do that. I'm gonna wing it now, except for the level 6. Level 6, I've noticed, takes a little, I mean, you can still wing it and be fine, but they have a lot of suggested ways to extend the lessons. So anyway, but it is really good for, even if you're a seasoned veteran teacher, it's great for having each slide is marked what's on it. So then you can look at it and glance down and see, oh, the next 2 slides are going to extend on this same topic, so I don't need to extend on that way. So then you don't extend, and then you click to it and it's extending, and you're like, yeah, good job, we already did this. So it helps with pacing and timing. It also helps if you're running behind, then you can glance down and see where you can rush, what things will be covered more so you can go quickly, what things you want to expand, or if it's going really slow the other way around, then you can see what are the things, where are my slides that I'm going to really expand on or add in an activity to make it stretch out a little more. But then it also has the end slide, the songs, has everything. It has everything you'd need to know. And then what we're really working on right now, so once you go to it, you will notice that most lessons have an entry now, but not every lesson, but most do. About 6 months ago, we made a designated format for entries. And so some of the entries are older and they're not in the right format. So right now we're working on updating all the entries so that it's a number, the slide number, and then a colon, and then a brief, as abbreviated and short entry for what's on that slide, semicolon, next slide, semicolon, next slide, and then new line paragraph means new topic in the lesson. So theoretically you would have the number, what's on it, semicolon, what's on it, and then once it changes subject, new line with a number, what it is. So that's the format, which there's a video on that. There's also, all this is in the explanation of the lesson doc, or on the Google Doc, excuse me. So then theoretically, you just have it all there. It's all ready to go. I feel like I was saying something else, but I don't remember it now. So anyway, that is what the lesson bank is. If you have any other questions, how to use it, in the beginning, feel free to just take from it and get used to teaching and comfortable with teaching. Don't worry about adding to it unless it's easy. If you're there already, please do. Please feel free to update entries that are outdated, because VIPKID is updating all the lessons right now. I think they're trying to prep them so that they can all be interactive in the future. And there's also some bad ones, and so they're just tweaking them, making them better. So if you come across one that is incorrect or a slide is incorrect, please update it and fix it, and copy it back into the lesson bank after you're done with your lessons. Oh, that's what I was talking about. So we're working on updating those, adding ones that don't have an entry. Even if you don't feel comfortable putting in the class slides, and you can just put in the slide number, and if there's a blank slide and what the reward system, all that is, please do add those things. That's great. And then the last thing that we're doing is we're adding in feedback for them, so that in the case of that you are slammed and you forgot or something and you need to put in a quick feedback, theoretically you could just copy what's in there and paste it in and you would be good. So when you're writing feedback, please just put in generic, no he, she's, no performance, oh they did great today, because maybe the lesson went terrible. But you could always say, I was so happy to see your student, or hello, greetings, or today this lesson is the 4th lesson, or this is the 1st lesson of our new unit. It includes or it teaches, and then add either the objectives, the vocabulary and sentence patterns, or just add the outline and then end it with your child earned 5 stars today. So that's really easy to copy and paste that, and then add a performance review. They really need to work on blending, or they did great with reading today, or whatever it is, and then sign off. So we're trying to add templates for all the feedback as well, so that so you don't have to recreate the wheel. Everything that everyone else could be doing, which is just writing what you did that day, is already there, and all you have to do is the performance review. So that is what the lesson bank is. Please feel free to ask any questions. You can, Mary is the other admin on the group, and she can ask questions too. Pre-VIPKID, I don't do pre-VIPKID, so that is her. She knows everything. I don't know anything about the pre-VIPKID slide other than it exists, or tab. So anyway, please feel free to ask us questions, and welcome, and hopefully this is helpful, and that it makes it easier prep time, so we're not wasting our time on things that we're not getting paid for. We can each prep it once, and if you do things, please add it to the main collaborative lesson bank. Don't copy the collaborative lesson bank, copy the tab that's just the template, and then add back to the main lesson bank, so everyone's sharing the same lesson, so that we're not recreating the wheel. Okay, that's all. I'm Sarah. Bye!